let's talk about clubs. And you might be thinking, well, there's quite a few amounts of different types of clubs. There's the card suit, there's the thing you go to when you're 21, and then there's the thing that you kind of hang out with and you meet people at. So let me just narrow this down for you. I'm under 21. I have played cards, but not in college. So what does that leave us with? I guess it's that boring option of the people that you hang out with. So anyways, clubs are things that you're supposed to go to because you have an interest in them and you hope that going to them will help you meet more people that have similar interests to you. And this is all well and good, but I really don't think that club fairs at any level really understand the true purpose behind clubs. You see, I have gone through 3 levels of clubs at this point. I've gone through them in middle school, high school, and college, and I know that you're all getting very tired of me talking about the exact same topic in the 3 different levels of education, or even 4 that I've had, but it's just effective, I'm sorry. So in middle school, I had Club Rush, and Club Rush was actually the closest thing they're all relatively the same, but Club Rush was the most formalized like college. You had a bunch of tables, and you would have your people, and everyone would kind of go around and try to chase down people with their club. That's where I started the Super Smash Brothers Club, which was a huge hit, let me tell you. We had 12 people in that club, which is pretty darn good for middle school. In high school, I decided to start another club. This one was called Connections Club, a sort of weird idea that was supposed to connect different fields and make them into something greater, show people how algebra helps you in the real world, things like that. Trying to make math and science and stuff interesting. Well, that club completely and utterly failed. But this process in high school was a little bit different. It was the same sort of tabling thing, but getting up and moving from your table was a lot less looked upon with gladness. People would do it for sure. They would go around and try to spread their message, but not nearly as much as they did in middle school. And then finally in college, we have the same sort of giant rows of tables. The numbers just keep increasing. In middle school, there were maybe 10 clubs. In high school, maybe 40. In college, there's over 500. So, a lot of options, and all of the tables are just laid out in the vast, vast field. And you have to go through and find the ones you like. And similar to middle school, you do have a ton of people going and trying to talk to you if you go anywhere near their booth. Now, this brings up the point of what is effective club advertising and what should you do versus what should you not do. And these are all going to be my personal opinions, but they are things that I believe very strongly in. I believe that you should advertise clearly on your booth, that you should have a giant sign with your club's name on it right there. I believe that you should have people that are able to clearly articulate what your club is about. And maybe, just maybe, even a person that goes around saying, oh, this is club blah blah blah, and just, going around and saying that with nothing else. What I don't believe people should do is stop you and say, hi, do you like Friends? Do you want to be popular? Do you want to have a good college life? Because for 98% of people, the answer to these questions is probably a yes. And so asking them doesn't really fulfill any purpose. And I know that some people think that, oh, well, now that I've got them in a conversation, they're going to be more reluctant to leave, and therefore we will trap them into our club, and then they will finally see the error of their ways. But you see, that's not how it works. Yes, I will listen through your entire pitch because I am a polite person and you might give me a free thing at the end. But no, I am not going to care about it at the end of your pitch. It doesn't really matter what you say. The second you're forcing me to listen to your pitch, I'm just turned off completely, and my odds of joining your club have dropped dramatically. They've gone from a 0 to like a -10, which essentially means that I will talk trash about your club if anyone ever brings it up. Essentially stuff like, oh yeah, I heard your club was so desperate they were going out. And don't get me wrong, these club tactics are not desperate or anything. I just find them so personally annoying and ineffective that I do tend to kind of look down on them. And now, I haven't had the most success with clubs. I've had a fair amount of success, but I haven't had like meteoric, record-breaking success. So you could say that all these people that are like stopping people and asking them questions that they will always say yes to, the yes questions, is an effective mode of advertising. But I still believe that it brings to your club people that really don't want to be there. People that don't truly want to be there for the most part. There might be some people that really, when they're asked, like, oh, do you want friends? They have this whole existential internalization moment where they're like, that's what's been missing from my life. I get it now. Yes, I will join your club. But for most people, it's really just nonsensical, and it's just a waste of time. The other thing that I would say you should never do when you're trying to create a club, at least a club that is built strongly with people that will stay there, is hand out candy. Now, handing out candy looks good on paper. It gets a lot of people to write their name down. It gets a lot of people to stop by and be like, oh yes, I am very interested in insert club name here. Club, that's really interesting to me. Now, how do I get your candy? You will see in high school, a lot of people did this, and I did this when I ran my clubs. I would put out candy because candy brings people. And to an extent, this helps, because you will get some people that will at first look just at the candy and just want the candy, but then there will be some people that, just want to join the club because they came for the candy, but now, this actually sounds interesting. I might want to do this. But definitely in college, and maybe even in high school, it is a completely flawed idea. The amount of money that you spend on candy could go to so many better things, like that could actually keep the returners at your club, such as providing pizza at club meetings. This is a huge thing because it takes those people that were loyal enough to actually show up in a room, and it rewards them for it. And it actually gets them to the club meeting instead of just writing down an email that they probably ignore half the time anyways. Just think about this for 1 second. Who do people give their emails to? Everyone. People, whenever they're signing up for something, always have to put their email. So, to them, it's as simple as put email, get free stuff. Done. And to them, all the strings that are attached don't really matter because they can just clear them out with one hit of the delete all button or one hit of the mark as spam. It is so easy to get rid of the emails that you think might help them to be inspired to join your club that it's really not worth much at all. And the reason I say it's worth even less at the college level is now all of a sudden, you've got a bunch of people who are completely desperate for free stuff, and by gosh, they'll do anything to get it. They will sign, they will date, they will give you their soul practically just to get a free slice of pizza. No joke, I was at this meeting for a club, and there were about 100 people there, which is incredible. But when we passed the sign-in sheet around, the sheet that was going to help us learn the information for the future club meetings, only about 17 names were on there. Less than a fifth of the people actually signed up, and that doesn't make much sense until you consider it was because they were coming for the free stuff. And now this does counter my point of free pizza rewards the people that just want to come for free pizza, but the thing is, at least you got 17 people. If you do the candy method, you will have to hand out candy in my college to hundreds of people. About, I would guess, 500 to 1,000 people will come up to your booth and just take your candy. And that is such a huge waste of money to get those eventually pretty much the same amount of people that you would have gotten otherwise. Pizza, at the very least, gives your people that stay something to appreciate, and it has real value, unlike candy, which has this very tiny value that can be easily ignored and thrown away. And the bigger things you give is not the better results you get. If you're giving anything at your initial event or at a giveaway event, which these club rushes tend to be, it's not going to help you very much. Unless you're like a smoothie company, because then at least they get exposure to your product. But there was this bank, I went to another event, and there was a bank there, and they had these little power banks. And so I walked up to the guy and I said, okay, how can I get a free power bank? And he said, oh, well, you just have to listen to my speech for a minute. And I'm like, okay, great. And then I proceeded to turn off entirely while he gave his little speech. At the end, he's like, oh, now do you have any interest? And I'm like, nope. And he's like, okay, and went and got me my power bank. And in that way, I exchanged 1 minute of my time for a nice portable charger that I can now use. It slightly advertises the bank, but it's a free portable charger. I'm not really complaining. Point is, incentives work in the short term. They make you look good, they get people to your first meeting, and that's about it. If you want longevity, the way to advertise is to advertise what you really are, to make it very clear to people what they're signing up for, and to maybe use words that describe what you are that people might connect with. This way, people will actually visit your booth because they are interested legitimately in what you are doing instead of what you have to give them. But that's just an opinion. I hope you guys have had a great day and will have a great day. I would like you to put the best free thing you've ever gotten from one of these handouts or something in the comments below. And yeah, thanks for watching my videos and have a great day.